We start today in Puerto Rico, where a group in San Juan is making pretty big efforts to educate the public about the protection of sea turtles in Puerto Rico. The first hatching of leatherback was recorded last week for the 2022 season. Our Francis Felix reports.
After a recent event that occurred here at the Ocean Park Beach in Condado, where a man in his 4x4 Jeep trespassed a nesting zone protected for leatherback turtles, the group Siete Quillas Tortuguero reinforced their strategies for sea turtles protection. The group officially has been since 2015 working in the protection of the leatherback turtles. The nonprofit group have an alliance with Natural Resources Department seeking into reducing the contamination and educate the community about the sea turtles in danger of extinction.
We've been trying for the past 8 or 9 years to have some kind of barrier put at the end of the streets that allow access, car access or vehicle access to the beach. The problem is that there are not enough vigilantes or police to help us with that. There was a recent incident in these past few days where a Jeep went on the beach, and even though we called the police, we called the vigilantes, nobody was able to come. The information was given to the police, and I understand there is a follow-up. The danger of this is that, in the first place, it's illegal. And second place, this is a beach that is protected for sea turtles. They can interfere with a nest, they can interfere with a sea turtle, and they can compact the sand. The most important thing is the information. One of the things I've learned during my years here with Siete Quillas is that if you try to protect a nest or you try to educate people, they will be very interested in what you have to say. They will usually thank us, and at the end they always say, how can we help? So you realize that it's a problem of education. And if people are taught what they have to do and why they have to do it, I would say 90% of the time they're more than willing to cooperate. Sea turtles such as the leatherback turtle, for example, they live in the cold waters of the north. And after they reach maturity, they come back to the beaches where they were born and they nest there. So the turtles that are nesting here, in all probability, were born here. And they keep coming back, right?
How many eggs approximately could be here?
Well, we don't know exactly the amount of eggs that are here because it's very difficult to count them when the turtle is actually laying her eggs. But it could be from anywhere 40, 50 eggs to 130 eggs.
How many eggs of this could survive?
Well, they say that approximately one turtle of 1,000 that are born survives enough to come back and nest. So that's why it's very important that we take care of all the turtles that we can and make sure that the nestlings, the young turtles, the hatchlings go back to the ocean. And that's what we're here for, you know, because it's all a cycle, it's all a circle. So that's why you protect one species, and what you're doing is you're protecting a whole bunch of other species.
The group is claiming to have more vigilance on day and night. Right now they only have one municipal guard. So they are encouraging people and volunteers to be part of the conservation and protection of this nest. From Ocean Park Beach, Francis Felix.
All right, thanks so much for that report, Francis. Well, meantime, the effects of inflation are affecting the entire Caribbean region. High prices at the gas pump to grocery stores are hitting consumers and businesses worldwide. In the Bahamas, it almost led to a gas strike. Our One Caribbean News' Deandra Hamilton explains the details of what the Bahamian government's trying to do to ease prices at the pump.
VAT collections were up over 25% for this fiscal period, and government is closing the deficit, which stands at $33.1 million for the month of February 2022. The issue of inflation and its impact on food and fuel prices continues to create struggle for Bahamian households. But businesses are also floundering. A gas station strike or stop on service in Nassau was averted. It was widely reported that this was a very real threat looming, able to mar the Easter holiday weekend if some inflationary measure was not introduced by the government. Standing in for the Minister of Economic Affairs was Simon Wilson, Financial Secretary of the Bahamas, who gave an update on the ongoing talks with retailers.
So yesterday, the Prime Minister and the Minister of Economic Affairs, along with the Parliamentary Secretary for Economic Affairs and senior officials met with the Petroleum Retailers Association. The retailers came in and have a discussion about the impact of high fuel prices on their operations. You may be aware retailers operate with a fixed margin in terms of fuel. So they get 54 cents for every gallon of fuel that is sold.
The high fuel prices are hitting petrol stations hard, and it's not just the consumer.
They are going to provide us with some more information in terms of what the options available. And hopefully within 1 week or so, we will come and have a next meeting and finalize what type of support that can be provided to the retailers without adversely impacting the public, the consumers of fuel.
In a week, said Wilson, what deal could be struck will be made public. DeAndre Hamilton reporting.
All right, thanks, DeAndre. Well, meantime, Barbados has confirmed the presence of the new Omicron BA.2 subvariant of COVID-19 on the island. Dealing with a dramatic increase in the number of new COVID-19 cases, Health and Wellness Minister Ian Gooding-Edgehill says the confirmation of that variant had come from the Trinidad-based Caribbean Public Health Agency after questions that had been raised regarding the dramatic increase in new COVID cases and the possible existence of that new BA.2 variant in Barbados.
Based on the results of samples sent to the Carrefour lab in Trinidad for analysis, I am now confirming that the BA.2 subvariant of COVID does exist in Barbados. In fact, 90% of the samples sent to Carrefour were found to be positive for this Omicron variant, which is highly contagious, but which does not generally lead to serious illness.
The health minister said that since March of 28th, over 5,000 new infections have been detected. However, he has assured the country there will be no tightening of existing protocols, even though that subvariant has pushed cases up to an unfortunate record high of a 28% positivity rate.
As we head into our long Easter weekend, I once again advise that the tightening of any of the protocols is not being considered. But at the same time, I am sure that Barbadians as a whole will practice restraint, discipline, and moderation with their social activities and interactions over the next few days.
And meantime, a recent study says that the majority of children hospitalized currently with COVID-19 when the Omicron variant was prominent were unvaccinated. Now, that's according to a new study that was published in the Center for Disease Control and Prevention's Morbidity and Mortality Weekly. The CDC study identified nearly 400 children who were hospitalized between December 19th of 2021 and February 28th of 2022 and found that 87% of them were unvaccinated.